Hi, I'm Katie Dutcher from Flourish and Bloom and Monterey Bay Meditation Studio. And today I'm thinking about support. Support is something that maybe we're not always aware of. For example, right now I'm supported by a lot of layers of materials like the couch underneath me, the floor underneath that, the foundation of this building, the earth. So you can kind of get a sense that we take most of these things for granted because they're always there. And yet, acknowledging sources of support can really give us mm, can give us an appreciation for what is kind of aiding us in our lives as we go through each day. There's times when maybe we can feel kind of alone or isolated. Um, maybe there's certain kinds of support that we wish we had, that we don't see right now or we're not experiencing. And so then because of that, we can feel um, like we're just kind of floating alone through the world. And while there's nothing to deny about that feeling, at the same time, if we broaden our perspective, um, we may realize sources of support that really help us to feel less alone and help us to feel more safe and secure and grounded. So in this meditation, being willing to be curious, being willing to notice perhaps what has been here all along but in a new way. So go ahead and have a seat or lie down. Find a place that's comfortable for you. And I'm going to start with the ringing of the bell. So, as always, allowing yourself to settle in. You might shift your position slightly or intentionally release some of the muscles of the body so that you're really relaxed as much as you can be. And beginning to notice the contact that your body's making with whatever is underneath you or behind you. Feeling the softness or the firmness that is offered by this chair or couch, mat, floor. Perhaps a mixture of softness to allow your comfort and firmness to support you fully. And while you may not be able to sense this directly, reminding yourself, bringing to mind how there are actually other layers beneath what you can directly feel with your body. A floor covering, perhaps a carpet or padding, the floor itself, and beneath this, perhaps another space, other floors of the building, eventually making contact with the foundation that sinks into and is held by the earth. Letting yourself feel that you are held here. And beginning to feel your breath. Breath comes in and goes out. There's support too in the rhythm of your breath. Support for life itself. With each in-breath, oxygen is brought into the body. Sense of refreshment, nourishment for the body. And then is released to allow a new breath. These sources of support are present right here. The ground underneath you, the breath coming through you, always accessible. And in addition to this, there's more support. There's the support of people. There may be people right now who begin to come to mind. Very obvious sources of support. Perhaps dear family members or beloved friends. People who in some way, large or very small, demonstrate to you that you are not alone. People who listen, people who provide emotional support, perhaps when you're feeling unhappy in some way. And beyond these people who come to mind right away, there are other people who offer support, other people whom our lives intertwine with, whom we may not even see, or if we see, who we may not acknowledge. People who, for example, bring our mail, who plant and tend and harvest and transport food. People throughout the years who have provided education, this basis for our knowledge and training. People who have actually set up and maintain these systems that we benefit from, like schools and institutions, grocery stores, mail routes. We're supported by these various organizations and institutes that make up society, daily life, supported by the organization itself, the infrastructure, which is implemented, maintained by people, some of whom we may never know, many of whom. Beyond these layers of infrastructure, beyond the people, there's support offered by the earth herself. Plants grow, animals receive sustenance, we receive enjoyment through the food that we eat, enjoyment and life itself. We receive sustenance for the eyes, for the heart, the mind, as well from the earth. Trees, lakes, rivers, ocean, sky, whatever elements of nature, this wild nature, beauty, and awe that is offered to us, we're supported. We receive these sparks of joy. We receive shade. The pleasant sounds of wind in the trees, bird song. whether this is part of our refreshment through a vacation or some travel, or whether we're fortunate enough to experience these elements of nature every day all around us. There is support provided by the earth. And when we begin to reflect on support in this way, physical support, emotional support, mental support, all that has gone into and continues to go into making this life we're living possible. And not just possible, but often quite enjoyable, beyond just sustenance, beyond just survival. When we consider all of this, perhaps we almost find that it's endless. Taking a moment to let your mind wander even further, becoming aware of more and more sources of support, things and people that you depend on, that you benefit from. Awareness, recognition, or acknowledgement is really the jumping off point. When we recognize what is here, there's the possibility of other realizations, realization of connectedness, what some might call interbeing, that who we actually are, how we actually live, is dependent, interdependent. This knowledge that there's no real separation, that in a sense we're never really alone. This recognition of sources of support can also begin to lead to appreciation, to gratitude. We can recognize perhaps that some of the types of support that we are experiencing are not experienced by every person on earth. Sense of perspective, deep appreciation for what is here. for these final moments of our meditation, just resting in whatever sensations, whatever emotions, thoughts are here right now. This gratitude, this sense of largeness or connection. I don't know about you, but my mind just tends to go further and further and get more and more amazed at everything that is here and all of the various people and their time and effort. You know, the TV shows that we watch for entertainment, the the way that we can fly across the world, and there are people who know how to fly planes and make planes. Like it boggles the mind when you really begin to think about it. And I think that's really a positive thing, to boggle the mind, to really take it in. So I hope that you'll continue this, and perhaps this is a good practice. Just this question of what is supporting me right now, and to notice that and to see what change that brings. I'll see you next week.